Initially, this entire space was a tea plantation. When you look at this mansion and you see all that structural work that has gone in, courtesy of Fine Urban, from those classic pillars right there, it is dedication, it is love, because you don't just build a house like this for anybody. This is for somebody who means something to you. Hello and welcome to Kangema in Waranga County. Tell you what's the tea in this episode: a 6-bedroom mega mansion right here. Yes, you can find one of those right here too. You know, Fine Urban is all about luxury living with amazing designs, beautiful projects, functional work, and buildings that really will stand the test of time. So this is a project that one of our clients decided to put up for their parents. Just look at that. I mean, standing outside already gives you this amazing feeling of appreciation for parents who have sacrificed. It is dedication, it is love, because you don't just build a house like this for anybody. This is for somebody who means something to you. As we stand right at the grand entrance to this beautiful mansion, I'd like you to take a look to my right. We've walked up to the mansion, but when you're driving into the compound, the design is very stellar. You come in to a driveway that goes down. It takes you to the basement of the building. So you drive right in to the basement. There's no cars that are going to be parked outside here. You know, it's a very functional space. There's going to be a lot of landscaping that's going to take and find form here. But having cars in the driveway, that is not the design for this particular mansion. Now, when you come up here, I'd like you to look to the left and to the right, because there are features about this construction that stand out. They're all functional, but at the same time, we also have aesthetic functions happening here. 2 of these pillars are actually structural pillars. They really support this whole project. And 1 is really for aesthetics. And I am a firm believer in the magic of the number 3. That's my favorite number. And we've got 3 pillars to my left. We've got 3 pillars to my right, which just makes this beautiful entrance grand, lovely, magical almost even, and very well supported. The theme of pillars echoes right round the mansion, so you're going to find pillars in some shape and form right around this mansion, and we're going to see how many you can find as we tour the building. But right here we're going to have a grand, massive door, because this, look, that's a really massive entrance. I can't even touch it. Oh, I'd have to, you know, this is how big this is. As we step in from this massive entrance here, we can understand why the doors have got to be that grand, because the first thing you notice when you step in is this double volume space. It just goes on and on and on and on, and it is grand. Really, 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 really grand. It gives you such a beautiful feeling. It's almost, it takes your breath away. That is the correct expression for the feeling that I had when I stepped in. Now, this whole entire area is the foyer. If you look ahead of me, there is a plan for a curved staircase that will take us to the first floor of the mansion. But right here, you can almost see the possibilities. When the landscaping outside has been done, I'm sure there'll be a bit of greenery in here somewhere, but it is such a grand way to enter a mansion. There's a lot of light that's streaming in, and when I look out this way, I can see 2 panels, and there will be windows there and there, which will allow even more light to come in. It is a standard feature of every Fine Urban project to make sure that the space is well lit. And when you're working with a double volume space like this one, it is imperative to have as much light come in from natural sources before you add the extra lighting that Fine Urban is also very, very famous for. Walking into this space, we find ourselves in the living room. What a lovely place to sit and entertain. It's grand, but cozy. It almost feels like we've moved in from this really massive space to yet another equally massive space, but very intimate, very private, very warm, which is exactly what you'd find if you're going to your mom's house or your dad's house. This is exactly what you'd want to find, like, hi dad, hi mom, how you doing? Can we sit down? Can we watch something on the telly? Because this space here is where I think the TV wall will find itself. It just makes sense for it to be placed right here, and it comes in right between two spaces that allow light to come in, really nice big windows. This is the primary source of light for this sitting room space. Oh my gosh, you've got to come closer because this also comes with a view. Look out at that. You know, Kangama is known for cold, but now you can see how it's manufactured. Can you see it cooking? The other thing about Fine Urban that always stands out in all of their developments is practical flow to space. So the space lends itself to motion. From the sitting room, we move in to the dining area. The dining area is grand, but not overwhelming either. That sense of coziness continues into this space. And for the first time in a really long time, I see a curved wall right here. When you think about most development spaces, it's always, you know, lines, squares, rectangles, good angles, but once in a while, there's a space that's going to put a smile on your face, and you'll see a curved space like that. So you can imagine, curves give you that feeling of warmth. They give you that feeling of you're, you know, ensconced somewhere lovely. So this is going to be the dining area. We've got great lighting options here. There's not one, there's two, there's three windows to light up the entire space. We've got an allocation for a sink here. So before you sit down to have your meal, you can wash your hands. Nothing has been set up just yet, but we can see where little points of electricity flowing through the house will be found. Walking into the kitchen is what we're doing now. Still very massive, a very massive entrance. Look at that. Or is it that I'm just short? Don't answer that. Walk with me into the kitchen. The kitchen is also another huge space. We can see the sink area there with more windows. Look at that. Beautiful picturesque views no matter where you find yourself. As long as there's a window and you look out, there's something beautiful to see. We've got more big windows here, and we've got a door that leads to an outdoor area from the kitchen space. There's still a bit of work going on back here. We'll check it out in a moment. Here in the middle of the kitchen, you can already see the pipes have been installed. And this right here is where you're going to find an island. Oh, I love islands. So not only is this just going to be a place where you create your meals, you cook them, this is also going to be a social space, because where there's an island, there'll be little chairs where you can sit together as a family, you can have a coffee, you can catch up, even as you're preparing your meal. We've got a lot of space for a fitted kitchen. In typical Fine Urban fashion, a fitted kitchen is definitely in the works here, and there's a lot of space to allow for all those wonderful contraptions that you find in any classic Fine Urban kitchen, from your Lazy Susans. Before we head off to the bedrooms, let's check out the pantry. Walking into the pantry, hi, how are you doing? Here is the pantry. You can see it is just right. It's a decent sized pantry. It's actually quite huge. And it's got a huge window there to let in some natural light. Additional light will certainly be installed by Fine Urban, because pantry areas that are this big always require just a little extra lighting. Stepping into the first of the two bedrooms downstairs, here is what I would think would be the first of guest rooms. But again, you've got to remember that if you're catering to elderly parents, when you're constructing something and giving it back to your parents, you've always got to think, okay, if they're a little elderly, perhaps they may not be able to climb up the stairs. So what do? We make sure that the ground floor bedrooms are equally luxurious, equally practical, and equally spacious. So here's the first. It can serve as a guest room. It can also serve as the room for the parents. You can see where the headboard is going to be. If you place a bed in here, then that's probably the most practical place where you would want to place it. We can see space on this end as well. It could be a space for where the wardrobes, Fine Urban and our storage solutions, always on point. So we've got a possibility of putting those there. But you can see that the room has already been shaped. Taking a look at the window solutions, we've got a big window on that end. We've got an equally big window here. But this opens out to the most magical of views. Look at that. All the rooms in this mansion are en suite, so we get to see the first of the ensuite bathrooms. And you can see work is going on right there. In the corner where he's at is where the shower is going to be. And right here, this will be the sink area. You can even see it. The pipes have already been placed in there, which means the toilet is going to be right here. And behind me, that is where the shower place will be. Lighting up this entire bathroom is this glorious window that also looks out to those glorious views out there. And it also lights up this beautiful, huge bathroom. So you can see if you choose to use this as a guest room or a room for one of the parents, moving around is easy and there's plenty of space as well. Moving into our second bedroom that you will find on the ground floor, you can see it's got a lot of space and this room faces the driveway. But this is a beautiful room with beautiful views, not just from the driveway. We've also got yet another huge window right here that faces out to that beautiful forest and farm that we looked at in the previous room. As you can see behind me, we've got the wall area where I really think the bed might be. But then again, in this room, because we're still under construction, this might end up being an office of sorts. It's really entirely up to you and the people who are going to live in this house to decide what it is that they want to do with it. If you'd like it to be a bedroom, well and good, it can adjust. If you'd like it to be a study or an office, also good, well and good. And right next to it is the bathroom area. So while a little bit of repair works and construction works continue, let's just peep the bathroom area in this second bedroom. And we can see that there's more work that's happening there before they plaster the room. They've got to check out the measurements, make sure everything sits right. It's all about precision with Fine Urban. No mistakes, because this is a dream home. How do you make a mistake with a dream home? Stepping away from our second bedroom, we've got to take a moment right here and imagine what's going to happen with this space, because there's a landing area of sorts, and I can only imagine what sort of fantastic ideas Fine Urban has got cooked up to make sure this amazing space here isn't just a dark corridor. Stepping to this end here, I would love to go all the way down the stairs, but as you can see, the staircase is still under construction. But if you're thinking about a staircase going down, then that can only mean one thing, and you're correct. It's the staircase that goes all the way down to the basement. Access from the main house into the basement starts with this little walk down the staircase. It's a very good-sized basement. Can put a couple of cars in here. And you can also, and I'm thinking ahead because I'm sure when the unveil happens, there's no dead space for Fine Urban. Drive in, park your car in the basement, walk up to the main house. This is how you do it. So if you've walked up to the house, you walk into the foyer right over there. But before you step in there, to my right is the cloakroom. So we've taken a tour of what's happening on the ground floor. We're now going to make our way up to the first floor. Okay, I can do this. I made it to the first floor of this mansion, and oh my gosh, that was quite the adventure all by itself. There are a few things and a few features that you've got to look out for, and I know they're going to be super and grand when they're all done. We're looking at 4 bedrooms, each one en suite, and we also have a family lounge up here as well. So I'm thinking right here, There's definitely going to be some kind of railing. Safety first, always. Let's step into the first of the 4 bedrooms upstairs. Step into the master, and it is, grand. This is grand. Look at how much space you have. I'm in, but this is the master bedroom. It's got huge window over there. One big window that just lets in so much light, and the views from this window. Ay. Oh my gosh. Imagine waking up to this every morning. This is insanely wonderful. We've also got 2 huge panels. Now, as we step out here, I'm thinking 2 windows, 2 doors, 2 glass window doors. From the master bedroom, this is the view. And when you've got these kind of views, you don't want to just be inside. You want to be somewhere where you can appreciate them, where you can just delight in them. Look at that. This is amazing. What an incredible location to put up a mansion such as this. Wow. Just wow. Listen to that. Quiet countryside living. So let's explore this bedroom further, because explore is the right expression for it. This room allows you to play. You've got your huge bed over there. You've got your little sitting area over there. If you want a little kitchenette, we can throw one over there. If you want a little basketball situation, okay, fine, maybe that's a bit much. But that's how big this room is. It allows you to have all the things that you've always wanted to have in a bedroom. So if it's that big grand bed, other than this area here, when we walk this way, when we walk further into this, you've got the left side, you've got the right side. So curved wall is here, which I love. Remember, it echoes that dining space that we saw downstairs. So this could easily be the walk-in closet. We've got the big window there to bring in natural light to this area where you dress up, where you put up, your nice wardrobe, your little bits and pieces of accessories, whatever it is that brings you joy. It's huge. There's more than enough room for 2. This is one of those walk-in closets where 2 people can easily share without one person thinking, but I only have 2 hangers here. This is incredible. I can't wait to see it when it's done. And when we walk to the right, so we're walking into the bathroom area, and it is huge. There is so much space here, so much. And I'm thinking this would be an ideal location for a tub. We can already see some plumbing has already happened there to install the piping right there. So this makes a lot of sense to have the tub here. And when you're soaking and just thinking, oh, it has been quite the drive, I think I'm going to have steak for dinner. This is where you're thinking about things like that and looking out to that glorious view. Behind me, I can see plumbing as well for a double sink area, and I can see where the mirror is going to be. So this must be the sink station right here. Of course, with all this space, not only are you going to have that tub and your sinks, we're thinking of a massive shower that's just got water coming at you from everywhere. Ooh. And then, of course, there's going to be a toilet in here as well. But what an incredible space. It's huge, it's glorious, and it's got the views. Every single room in this house really is all about the views. It's not just about that comfort, that je ne sais quoi while you're inside. It's also about what you're seeing on the outside. As we continue walking right around this landing area, we're now looking out to the foyer, and it's quite a view. I can only imagine what this is going to look like when it's all said and done. Of course, here there will be a barrier to keep everybody safe who's running. Maybe little kids are up and down running. They've come to see Guka, come to see Shosho. Standing here, you can only imagine what this is going to look like. You've got your curved staircase right there. You've got your grand doors. You've got the lighting. You've got the decor. From the master bedroom, We now find ourselves stepping into the second bedroom on the first floor. There's a bit of space that we can play with here, and it's space that could be used for shoe racks, you know, those clever storage solutions from Fine Urban where you can put something there that also serves something practical as you make your way into this bedroom. It's not as big as the master, but it is definitely very spacious. I think the headboard is going to be right here. We've got space for a television there. We can even place a desk here. So if this was somebody's room, you've got space for everything that matters. Gloriously huge window that lets you look out to those majestic views. Simply divine. And when you look out this window, come, I'd like you to see the pillars. Remember, we started at the main entrance, and when we were outside, we took a look at some of those features that stand out within this mansion, and the pillars are certainly right there. This room also has its own ensuite bathroom, huge window, lots of light, definitely got a toilet in there, we've got the shower, we've got the sinks. So from the second bedroom, we now walk in to the family room. You can even tell. Look how beautiful it is. It's big enough to host everybody. So, you know, sometimes people will come with friends. It's not just family that's shown up to the house for the weekend. Perhaps you're celebrating an anniversary, you're celebrating a birthday, and you invite everybody. There's more than enough room for everyone. Look at how huge this space is. We've got enough room for a huge TV wall where we can place the TV, where we can have some storage solutions on the side. Not very intrusive, not the kind of solutions that take up too much space, but the kind of storage solutions that allow you to have space in this area. I'm thinking cozy chairs, I'm thinking plush carpets. I can only imagine what's going to happen when this is done. But this is a really fun space that also has 2 windows and a door that leads out to yet another patio. So if you're out here, maybe you just want to take a moment, take a deep breath, say hello to the sun when it rises. This is the place you want to do that. Glorious views all around. And this time we can see the cows. The cows are busy. The cows have been busy. We take a stroll to our 3rd bedroom. Wow. And there's a corridor leading up to that 3rd bedroom. And right here, I'm sure Fine Urban is going to innovate with incredible lighting solutions, allowing you to walk into this space where we find our 3rd bedroom. There's a huge window right there. There's a 2nd and a 3rd window as well, and a patio too. So this is definitely a good bedroom to have because you've got space in here and you've got access to a patio. The pipes have been installed in the washroom area, so you can see that the bathroom is still under construction, but the pipes are ready and waiting to be fitted with plumbing. We walk back to the corridor and we make our way to our 4th bedroom. Walking in is equally exciting because you're wondering, what shall I find? What shall I find? What shall I find? And you walk into this beautiful space. Wow, the light in here, is a lot, but it's beautiful and it's great. I think behind me might be where the headboard is, but then again, it's really open to interpretation. Maybe it's there. This room lends itself to all kinds of playful design and decor ideas. We've got a huge window right there with access to those glorious views that we just looked out to. And it also opens out to a patio that looks out to the driveway and the entrance of the house. From this vantage point, you can also see those pillars at the entrance of the mansion. As is the case with all the bedrooms in this mansion, let's take a look at the bathroom, and getting into the bathroom, we walk past a walk-in closet. Wow, whoever gets this room is going to be lucky. They're going to have access to their own walk-in closet before they come in to the bathroom area. A sink, a toilet, definitely a shower, and views. More views. And this right here in the corner is the server room. We're thinking about electricity solutions. We're thinking about security solutions. We're thinking about your home internet connection solutions, because all of this all play into a smart home. And in keeping with Fine Urban's ethos on making homes that are functional, that are environmentally sound as well, a smart home is not to be taken out of that table. That is also part and parcel of the solution. Outside to the back of the house. And this is where we find, right behind you, turn around, the location for what will be the DSQ area. Because a house this grand definitely needs and will require assistance in making sure it's running and it is maintained well. So while everybody in the house is living well, we're also going to make sure that the people who are taking care of the house are also living well. So this is the area where that construction is going to happen. When you look at this mansion and you see all that structural work that has gone in, courtesy of Fine Urban, from those classic pillars right there, you've got to start thinking about landscaping. Initially, this entire space was a tea plantation. And while the construction had to come up, the plan for the landscaping is still going to keep everything in line with the initial design and feel and look of the tea plantation. It must remain green. So when everything is said and done, the landscape is not going to be too far out from what you've seen with the views when you look out of the window. We're going to make sure that this house echoes the environment where it has been built on. So there's going to be a lot of grass, there's going to be a lot of shrubbery. We're just going to make sure that it stays classic and green and just a beautiful space where everything sits in an eco-friendly setting.